Wednesday night, June 21st. You are listening to the podcast Weather with Enthusiasm. If one was to walk outside in the end of December 18th, December 9th, or the week of December 23rd, somewhere around there, around 38 degrees north latitude, and you were to experience the below zero weather, the strong winds, and then the rest of the winter with temperatures going up and down throughout the winter, up and down throughout the spring, would one be able to believe, without experiencing it, that there's going to come a time in the city where the temperatures are going to be in the 90s, it's going to be hot, it's going to be humid, and it's going to be like that permanently, meaning the entire forecast cycle for weeks and weeks. It's only because we know it to be true. That's why we know, but in truth, when you walk out in the midwinter, you see all the snow on the ground, it's total chaos. And then comes the summer, and it's so warm, and not just that, but it's actually hot, and it's humid, as if there's a body of water there, as if you're right on the ocean, and there's no chaos. There's no fronts. There's nothing. There's very few cities that could qualify for something like this, but St. Louis, Missouri is one of them, and probably anywhere. Well, you can't go too far east of St. Louis because then you get the Great Lakes cold front. We're talking about two things here. We're talking about the fact that it's hot and humid in the summer, nothing super dangerous, but just hot and humid in the summer, the very opposite of the bitter cold air of the winter. And there's no change in the weather whatsoever, which is the very opposite of what it's like all year round. This excludes the entire Great Lakes. This excludes Minnesota. This excludes most of the Midwest, because most of the Midwest is getting cold fronts throughout the summer. Granted, it's warm throughout the summer, but there's cold fronts. This excludes the East Coast. Occasionally, Baltimore might be on this level, almost. Baltimore's very close. Philadelphia is too far north. It's a very fine line, but this is the line where you're experiencing something totally unbelievable. Even if it happens every year, it's still just totally remarkable how it happens. This year, believe it or not, it has not happened yet. Not only that, St. Louis has not had one hot day so far this season. There have been days where temperatures were in the 90s, but in St. Louis, people who arrive in the airport, they get off the plane even from the East Coast, living next to bodies of water with very warm water temperatures from Washington, D.C. The first thing they say, it's not the heat, it's the humidity. The humidity is just high. There's a certain feel. Meteorologist Tom Skilling said that when you travel from Chicago to St. Louis, there's some place there's a climate change. In the summertime, there's an actual change in climate that exists in the St. Louis area. But finally, this Sunday, we're going to have, for the first time this year, we're going to see hot and humid conditions in St. Louis. According to some computer models, dew points might actually go high, but not everyone agrees. But it's just one day, and then we go back to the rest of the Midwest weather pattern, which is not typical for St. Louis. Perhaps we'll see hot weather in July, but we've not seen any summer heat in St. Louis. We've not seen that combination of heat and humidity so far this year at all, not even one day. It's possible we'll see it Sunday. It depends on when the cold front moves through. Right now, it's scheduled to move through in the afternoon, so we might not see it Sunday, but the National Weather Service is calling for hot conditions in St. Louis on Sunday. It's a one day of heat, and then it says goodbye. And we're out of time. I wish everyone a good night. Have a great week, and stay safe.